John Grier is the author of The Wasteland and Other Poems. He's the winner of the Norma Farber First Book Award from the Poetry Society of America and a chapbook, Lucinda. A full-length verse novella of the same name will be published coming up soon, I'm assuming, next year. He's also the editor of a wonderful selection of Robert Lax's poems, which is amazing. I hope it's here somewhere, but it's a beautiful book. Definitely check that out. Published by Wave Books. He lives in Portland, coming all the way from Portland, Oregon. Please give a really warm welcome to John Grier.
Well, thanks so much. Thanks to Audrey and Janka and it's really nice to be back here in England. The first thing I'm going to read is really new. It's called Kamala Had Suffer. Most traditional poets like it best when they're thinking deep thoughts, remembering what it's like to suffer, get reborn. Connecticut, put some money into your highways. I am not so traditional, because my poems specialize in unfiltered information, the kind of thing under the conceptual rubric. For instance, I found out from young Jeezy's bass player Tuesday night that, quote, he might know street life, but he doesn't know shit about music. This doesn't bring up any of my deepest, most heartfelt feelings. I mostly just think it's cool that he told me. Although, if you think about it, what it's like to be adored and mega rich for doing something you're not really good at, and every time you step into the rehearsal space, the guys looking back who aren't drowning in Benjamins, Cristal, or fine shorties, vocabulary stuff in 2003. And these guys look right through you, and you have to keep fronting, keep taking charge. Maybe I'm starting to feel young Jeezy a little. What gives me the right? We've been driving for days through a corridor of ruins and office parks. The city leaders of Scranton are selling it out, just like the leading citizens of your city. Put your hands in the air. Kelly Andrews of Pittsburgh bakes ravishing banana bread. Listen to Wheezy, and you might think you have no more ideas about language. English, Irish, Canadian, Australian, American. Oh, you smoother, more writing-friendly road. I checked around a couple of times on my iPhone, but when we got to the party, Kamala had struck her. This is Stay. Next year, the new devices promise to be real game changers. Whatever you need to know, you can pull from the cloud. You can meet anybody. Step into a market, step into the park, step into a darkened rehearsal space. A long time ago, unimaginable fire swept over the face of the earth. Every breath a reminder, a holocaust averted. Yesterday, I held out my arm. Someone passing on the bus. You have to keep living. Some infinities are larger than others. Georg Cantor proved that. He died in a sanatorium. He died before you were born. Nobody can tell what one person means to another. Step into the bedroom. Her glasses on the table. You might need to take a break. It starts to seem like yesterday will swallow tomorrow. I'm washing a frying pan. You don't have to give me any more reasons. That's the definition of poetry. Across the street, they're playing soccer until the cloud cover gets a little threatening. Right now, somebody's looking into somebody else's eyes. You can change your future, except you can't even change your past. The street where you were born, blocked by construction. Today you'll probably get a friendly message from someone you barely remember. Maybe they need a favor you're not exactly prepared for. They might need a ride or to borrow a soap dish. This is Renege on Our Love. It has an epigraph from Goethe. Dass vom Schicksal bestimmt sei, dass was lebt, überall unwissend zu verletzen, which means something like that this would be his fate. that he would ruin everything he loved and never know it. Size up the competition. The trees angling for the optimal patch of earth. Beat with a dull sound, dull beat. Beat with a dull sound, dull beat. Haze disrupts the air around the gas pump. We can't know as readers whether the proffered representation of trauma arises out of an actual experience or whether we're faced with another vampiric attempt to suck emotion out of the audience, standing in today for the failed figure of the fucking ridiculous. If I ask the man to kill me, he's going to kill me. And if I ask the man not to, he's going to do it anyway. I don't like this festival anymore. Well, you can't expect to get something without paying for it. You can't expect that you can turn off the light and no one will knock on your door. You don't want to open the door. You have a pretty good sense of what's waiting for you. Even that's a kind of privilege. You don't own your body. You are your body. Everyone winds up in front of the judge. Maybe get married? Sure. Maybe. A muffled hammer, less and less distant. The one where I go down with the ship. My main advice to Heidegger would be not to become a Nazi, but you can't live somebody's life for them. I learned that yesterday. I just finished another story. It has the same basic idea as all my stories. Guy travels a long distance to visit his old college roommate. They go to the angel share. But I always call it the angel hair because named after, I think of Lewis Warsh as a bit of a mentor. They talk about that mysterious professor of symbology. Soon the room begins to blur. By the way, Antonia, the roommate, tells him, "You can come back to my apartment, but you should know, there's kind of a problem. My dead sister's buried under the floor. And the more I think about it, the more I'm sure tonight's the night she'll be clawing her way back up." Hotels in Manhattan being super expensive, they end up at the apartment. It's not the greatest story. After I threw it away, a call came that I'd been expecting. You think you're making decisions. You walk through the forest trying to follow the sun. You listen to a tape of yourself, a decade old, saying the exact same words, but you can't tell who you're talking to. The voice cracks, starts receding. Every nightclub, every school, the scene of a crime. And the last one is titled, the name of this poem is Socrates is Called Socrates. Tag yourself. Get inked. Lose whatever inhibitions might be lingering around that busted hot tub. Madcap, Monk, or Guns N' Roses fill-in Axe Hand. However you imaged yourself drifts away like so much corn silk. I figured it was time to quit reading my reviews. They were making me unbearable. Who's got some chapstick? I mean it. It's one way to stop thinking about her softly curving shoulder. When I say her, I mean the highway, because I was born to ramble. I met this woman the other night who gave me a blackberry bush. I liked the way she took apart her hamburger. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. Thanks.